Salute YouTube world, what it is. Nocturnal thoughts with a real quick video, and then I'm gonna get out y'all way. Um, Look, Gervonta Tank Davis, he's gonna blast through Leo Santa Cruz. Earl, the true Spence, he's gonna blast through Danny Garcia. Vasily High-Tech Lomachenko, he's going to have a tough match on his hands with Teofimo Lopez. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury has all the advantages right now. Now, let me go back. Leo Santa Cruz versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Leo Santa Cruz has a phenomenal durability, endurance, stamina, and cardiovascular system. And he believes that based off what he has observed from Gervonta Tank Davis, that Gervonta Tank Davis is at his most dangerous the first half of the fight. After the first half of the fight, he starts to decline, regress. Gervonta Tank Davis says, most of my competitors don't make it out of the first half of the fight. And you saw my fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa. I was able to hold on to my power and knock him out in the 12th round. Let me just break that down real quick. Now, I think Gervonta Tank Davis is going to blast through Leo Santa Cruz. And for the main reason is I don't see Leo Santa Cruz, and I could be wrong in everything I'm breaking down, because boxing is so chaotic, you never know what's going to happen in that boxing ring, period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? So these are just based off my observations. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I do this for fun. So we'll let the boxing guys decide how it's all going to play out. But this is my nocturnal thoughts. So back to what I'm saying. I don't see Leo Santa Cruz having the power. I don't see him having enough power to have Gervonta Tank Davis respect him physically. And Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have a tank bulldozing type of mentality. And the only thing that would change that is if he was to come into the phone booth, get inside his wheelhouse, and Leo Santa Cruz hit him with something that made him pull back and come up with a plan B. If Gervonta Tank Davis stays on the plan A, which is seek and destroy, I think he's going to come in with so much power, so much explosiveness that Leo Santa Cruz, I think he's just going to break him up, bust him up, break him down, and hurt him to the point where Leo Santa Cruz is going to get knocked out. I like Leo Santa Cruz. I like his personality. I even enjoy watching his fighting style. I just look at it like his fighting style is designed to be. He only can go so far with his fighting style versus a Gervonta Tank Davis. I just don't think he's built. I don't think he's built in a way that's going to allow him to be victorious against Gervonta Tank Davis. I think Gervonta Tank Davis is just built in a way that he's not going to be affected by Leo Santa Cruz's power. You know what I'm saying? I think if it was just strictly, maybe Olympic boxing, amateur boxing, where it's point system, I think Leo Santa Cruz could be so fast and have that endurance that he could outpoint him, you know what I'm saying, box circles around him. and stay away from the power and possibly win. But in a professional fight, um, you know, when it comes to who's going to be setting off those bombs, setting off those power shots, Gervonta Tank Davis just has too much firepower, and he's going to sink his battleship. He's just going to explode them, and it's going to be a good fight because I like Lil Santa Cruz. I just think that he's not built enough. He's not built strong enough. He doesn't have enough, um, you know, sh- strength to his physique. I just don't think he's going to be able to withstand the power of Gervonta Tank Davis, and not to mention Gervonta Tank Davis still has a tool set, a set of tools that we haven't seen him bring out all of his tools. I think this is going to be similar to a showcase fight for Gervonta Tank Davis to to show off even more of his capabilities, and on top of that, deliver dramatic, the devastating, highlighting type of a, what I'm saying. I think this fight is going to go on Gervonta Tank Davis's highlight reel. Now I could be wrong. It could stretch out into the later rounds, and Leo Santa Cruz might possibly take him into deep waters and drown him. If Gervonta Tank Davis is not in shape, and he starts to, what I'm saying, take his foot off the gas pedal, and he starts getting peppered with a lot of those shots, and he might feel the effect of taking a lot of shots and not being able to fire back and lose on the scorecard by the judges. The judges might just look at Leo Santa Cruz and say he out hustled him, outworked him. You know what I'm saying? Because I have noticed that Gervonta Tank Davis, his power does decrease, and he reserves his power. So he's a little bit less active as he starts to slow down. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that his power doesn't sustain over 12 rounds. So let me move on because I don't want to stay on that subject too long. I don't want the video to be too long. But be quiet, dude. That's so anyway, that's what I'm saying. Gervonta Tank Davis, most likely, I think he's going to blow him out of the water probably within 7, 8 rounds. That's how I see that fight happening. But it was a good interview I watched. Both fighters still kind of saying the same thing, but I just think this is set up for Gervonta Tank Davis to showcase his skills, showcase his power. You know what I'm saying? Show up on the weight, show up on the scale in shape, and make weight and show some discipline about himself. That's what I think this is mainly, is challenging him to show up with discipline and not have any setbacks on the scale. Now, moving on, Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia is going to get ran over too. Now, this is no disrespect to Danny Garcia's skills, because I don't see him as such a one-dimensional, flat-footed, one-punch type of fighter. I see Danny Garcia has a lot of little tactical things that he do that catches my attention. Um, I don't think they're going to come to play when it comes to Errol Spence. I think if Danny Garcia was to take all of his bags of tricks and shake them out on the table, and show everything that he has, I don't think it's going to be enough for Errol Spence, given what Errol Spence has gone through. Now I know logically, when you look at Errol Spence, you think he's going to have this ring rust on him because he's been out of the fight game, or he's been out of competition since his Sean Porter fight, which was way back when. So you think, uh, out of the out of the out of a fight for this long, car accident, pandemic, everything's postponed, all this time, sort of been on the couch, sort of been on the shelf. Yes, he's been training, just recently started sparring, just recently, from what I hear, is working back with Blu-ray. So he's going to be in shape, but you just think logically he's still going to come into the fight with some ring rust on him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna go against logic in this situation because boxing in life is so chaotic. You really can't predict the future. It is what it is. But I'm gonna put it like this: I just don't see this fight being the fight. If he does have ring rust, which I'm sure there is some rust on Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's going to show in this fight. Because I look at the way life flows, the hills and the valleys, you know what I'm saying, the mountain peaks and the valleys low. And I feel like right now he's on an incline and he's going to peak. He's going to reach a pinnacle with Danny Garcia. And he's going to show a whole different side of himself. I think any ring rust, any issues that Errol Spence has won't show into the fight after Danny Garcia, because I feel like Errol Spence was rejuvenated. Man, you know, the thing about monotony and going through life and getting comfortable and getting content and getting lulled into day to day where you just, you know what I'm saying, wake up, grind, go to sleep, wake up, grind, go to sleep. A car accident changes that, period, point blank. And your mind and your everything is just on a different level when you go through a traumatic experience, when you start appreciating every single minute of every single day, of every single month, of every single year. And that shit lasts for a while. That high from that life altering experience, that high is not going to start to taper down yet. He's still on the up. He's still on the, and when he fights Danny Garcia, it's going to be a pinnacle moment where it's like when Tyson Fury was on the upswing from depression, suicide, drugs, um, drinking, weight gain, and the whole journey, the weight loss, the going through, figuring out how to battle his, the depression, figuring out how to battle his depression and live happy inside of himself and lose all the weight and coming to the fight with Deontay Wilder 1 and 2. The pinnacle was the second fight with Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But all the stuff he went through to get there was this journey up. Then you reach the mountaintop. Then you get on the top of the mountain and you look at everything of you what you accomplished, and then you had to start coming back down. Errol Spence is climbing that mountain from this traumatic situation, got back in shape, rededicated his life even on a higher level than what he was before the accident, where he was starting to get comfortable and content with the monotony of just being an athlete and a boxer and a famous athlete and a rich athlete, from beating Carol Brook, from beating Mikey Garcia, from beating Sean Porter, but in a way of just, this is just what I do, this is my grind. Boom, car accident happens. Now you reach a angelic mentality because you start to look at life differently. Now you start training harder. Now you start thinking different. Now you start to appreciate your little things in life. Quality time with your family. You know what I'm saying? Spending time with your friends. Spending time training. When you appreciate training again. When you appreciate dieting again. Like when one point in time being on a diet and being disciplined was starting to be something that you hated to do, and you rather eat something with some a brown paper bag with some grease coming through. But now you went through a life altering experience that made you appreciate when you eating something disciplined that's going to perfect your craft. That rejuvenates you, and boom, 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 boom. All you see is progress. All you see is appreciation. All you see is, you know what I'm saying, a whole different version of yourself being manifested. Danny Garcia is just going to be the pinnacle of that mountain. And he's just going to get on the top of that mountain and step on it and plant his flag there and look at everything he's accomplished. And then his next fight is going to be, okay, whoever he's going to decide to fight, depending if it's not a top fighter, he might start to get back into settling back down into something more comfortable, something a little bit less dedicated, less disciplined. But this fight right here, ring rust is not going to be an issue. It's going to be, he's going to have the fight of his life. He's going to have the fight of his life against Danny Garcia. Now I could be wrong. Danny Garcia could have some tricks up his sleeves that I just can't see. He could have improved his footwork. He's not so flat-footed. He could have been working on that left hook. He can be working on some other things that might just take everybody by surprise, and he might knock Errol Spence back down that mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember the little Price is Right show? That little dude is yodeling up that little mountain, but if you don't get it right, that mug fall over. it could be one of those things where Danny Garcia might topple all of Errol Spence's big dreams and plans. I doubt it, but anyways, that's my thoughts on it. I'm gonna move on because this video is stretching out. I'm gonna try to get it down into 20 minutes. Teofimo Lopez versus um, Vasily Lomachenko. I'm gonna say high tech Vasily Lomachenko because is it just me? I think I'm the only one. I don't understand where the Matrix came from. The Matrix 2.0. I don't get that. Somebody new to my channel, leave me a comment. Let's chop it up. Why do we call? Why are they calling Vasily Lomachenko the Matrix? You know, the Matrix is one of my favorite movies. But to me, to call him the Matrix just isn't making a lot of sense to me. Um, if they was to call him Neo, because Neo, you know, was dodging these bullets. The first Matrix, where the agent dumped off those shots, and you know, Neo did the back bend, and they showed the bullets, special effects, and everything, and it barely clipped him. It barely clipped him, like Lonorez barely clipped Vasily Lomachenko. That's like Neo. So if they call him Neo, I would get it because he's almost impossible to touch. He moves faster than everything else. He sees things better than everything else, but he still got clipped by that shot before he turned into the one. If they call him Neo, I would say, okay, I understand that. Now, if they call him the one, I would really get that too, because the one is when Neo realized who he was, and he went from Neo and he turned into the one. Then he could control the Matrix. He could actually stop the bullets. Now, if they're saying that Vasily Lomachenko is able to stop the bullets, stop the punches, and not get touched at all, I can respect that, I can salute that, and I say the one, that makes sense. But they call him the Matrix. And to me, the Matrix, the design of the Matrix was to create an illusional world for people to live in so that they could be used as batteries. So everything that we did, everything we ate, everything we saw, our jobs, our clothes, everything was just this computer program that we was plugged into, and it was all fugazi. It was all fake. It was all made up by, you know, artificial intelligence, which is to say it's not real. So when you call Vasily Lomachenko the Matrix, you saying that all these skills that you saying he has, it's kind of like saying it's not real. It's not reality. It's fugazi. That's how I'm looking at it. Am I the only one looking at it like that? You know, is Vasily high? I like high tech because I think his skills are high technical skills. But when you call him the Matrix, to me, would it make more sense to you, should I say, to you? Holler back in the comments. Would it make more sense to call him the One or to call him Neo? When you call him the Matrix, are you saying he's artificial intelligence that's designed to fool the people into believing they're seeing something that they're not really seeing? Y'all let me know in the comments because this video stretched out way too long. I gotta come back with another one though. Let's keep talking boxing. It's Nocturnal Thoughts. All my new subscribers, shots out to you. I appreciate. Straight like that. Brutus, you appreciate him? Brutus said he appreciate y'all too. Stay tuned in. I'm out. Peace.